Hello and welcome to another best of edition of Reel to Reel. I'm Sharon Roulier and I'm here with my dad, Jim Stefanik, and we're keeping up the tradition every summer of having you here as my co-host, right? And last week I promised you that we would have some hot dogs for you today. So we're gonna have a Chicago dog a Chicago dog in honor of our new Pope Leo, who's from Chicago. How does that sound?
Keep your promise.
Sound good?
Sounds better if I start eating one.
All right, well, this episode first aired on March 15th, and it features one of our Jubilee pilgrimage sites here in the Diocese of Springfield. Okay, Dad, take it away. Read the prompter there.
Oh, on with the program.
Coming up on this edition of Reel to Reel.
Bishop Byrne celebrates Mass at our Mother of Perpetual Help Chapel at Thomas Aquinas College, a sacred site this Jubilee year. I'm Carolee McGrath. I'll have the story coming up.
Relics of St. Pio, a powerful intercessor of our time, make a visit to Westfield. I'm Kathy Harrington, and I'll have the story.
It's all just ahead on this edition of Reel to Reel from our Mother of Perpetual Help Chapel at Thomas Aquinas College in Northfield. This chapel is one of 7 designated Jubilee Year pilgrimage sites in the Diocese of Springfield. It is the center of prayer for the college community and a space of reflection for pilgrims visiting the area. Bishop William Byrne celebrated Mass here in the chapel back on March 7th. Carolee McGrath has more now on how a visit here during this Jubilee Year of Hope can allow the faithful to receive a plenary indulgence while growing closer to God.
On March 7th, Bishop William Byrne celebrated Mass at our Mother of Perpetual Help Chapel on the campus of Thomas Aquinas College in Northfield. The chapel is one of the designated churches in the Diocese of Springfield that will be a local pilgrimage site during Jubilee 2025, which is entitled Pilgrims of Hope.
An important part of this year, of any Jubilee year, is the concept of a pilgrimage.
On Christmas Eve, Pope Francis kicked off the celebration by opening the holy doors at St. Peter's Basilica at the Vatican. The Jubilee year runs through January 6th of 2026 on the Feast of the Epiphany. Other holy doors were opened at the Rome basilicas of St. John Lateran, St. Mary Major, and St. Paul outside the walls. These basilicas and local churches are designated places where pilgrims will receive an indulgence after going to confession, receiving Holy Communion, and praying for the Pope's intentions.
This year I was able to designate 7 churches across the diocese, a place of special pilgrimage, which is part of a Jubilee experience. Reminiscent of our journey to heaven is our journey to these special places of beauty and prayer that remind us of heaven.
The other local sacred sites are St. Michael's Cathedral in Springfield, the Dominican Nuns Adoration Chapel in West Springfield, the National Shrine of the Divine Mercy in Stockbridge, St. Stanislaus Bishop and Martyr Basilica in Chicopee, the Monastery Chapel at the Sisters of Visitation in Tyringham, and the Newman Catholic Center at UMass.
It's always a blessing to have Bishop Byrne come to the campus, but at this particular time as a Jubilee site and the opportunity that offers for graces to the college, it's a particular blessing, especially on the 3rd anniversary of the dedication of the chapel.
The Mass was attended by students, faculty, and the wider Northfields community. What does Jesus mean in your life?
I think that is the center and the peak and the goal. I think that it's easy for us to identify ourselves with different groups and identities, and I'm a philosopher, I'm a student, but being a son of God is the only identity that really matters, and learning that in my life was always the greatest blessing I ever got.
Bishop Byrne has given us a challenge this Jubilee year, which is also a perfect challenge for Lent. It's called Walk with One. Essentially, he is asking us to reach out to a friend or a family member who has drifted away from the church and invite them back.
A special emphasis of this year is to walk with one, to pray for someone, to get to know them, bring them back. And sometimes it starts with a cup of coffee, not in church, but then an invitation.
Several events are planned for the Jubilee year, including pilgrimages to Rome, a diocesan men's and women's conference, and a youth event. To see a full listing of events, go to diospringfield.org. Reporting for Reel to Reel in Northfield, I'm Carolee McGrath.
And we look forward to visiting the remaining 3 local Jubilee Year pilgrimage sites. For the latest news on the Jubilee Year, visit the diocesan website at diospringfield.org/Jubilee 2025.
Our family has spanned the centuries and the globe. With God's grace, we started hospitals to care for the sick. We established orphanages and help the poor. We are the largest charitable organization on the planet, bringing comfort to those in need. We educate more children than any other institution. We developed the scientific method and founded the college system. We defend the dignity of human life and uphold marriage. Guided by the Holy Spirit, we compiled the Bible. We are transformed by sacred scripture and sacred tradition, which have guided us for 2,000 years. We are the Catholic Church, with over 1 billion in our family, sharing in the sacraments and fullness of the Christian faith. Jesus started our church when he said to Peter, the first pope, "You are rock, and upon this rock I will build my church." So if you've been away from the Catholic Church, we invite you to take another look. Visit CatholicsComeHome.org today. We are Catholic. Welcome home.
This is a place for independent living.
I'm an artist, so I figured I have a chance. I don't have to cook no more.
It's a different way of living, but it is a good way of living. It's a home.
Call today.
Like Catholic TV on Facebook. Once you're there, you can join in on discussions, make friends with other Catholic TV fans, watch behind-the-scenes videos from the studio, and stay up to date with the Catholic world. All this at facebook.com/CatholicTV.
All right, so as I mentioned at the top of the program, I'm here with Jim Stefanik, my dad, this July weekend. And last weekend, we talked about your favorite summer sport, which is baseball, and especially the Red Sox. And you said that you wanted some hot dogs, right?
Correct.
All right, so we got some hot dogs for you. They're the best hot dogs around. Blue Seal.
And the best ones are with the skin on them.
The natural casings, yep, and those are the ones that we have today. So we're gonna go cook some over the fire pit, all right? So
that sounds like a plan.
All right, so here, I got a stick for you, and we'll get you up, we'll walk over to the fire pit, and we'll cook some hot dogs, and then we'll come back and we'll assemble the Chicago dog.
Well, I hope they like it. I will.
You'll like it, don't worry about it. Let's get up, all right? 1, 2, 3, okay. Oh, we can show everybody your shirt here. Dad turned 88 this year. Stefanik, 88. Good job. All right, let's go over to the fire pit, okay? We got the hot dogs. So these are the good Blue Seal. You like Blue Seal?
8 to the pound. You'll never cook a hot dog on that.
All right, so we got the good hot dogs. Put them on a stick. This is the best way to cook hot dogs, right? And then you always taught me how to build a fire, and I probably didn't do it that good today, but what's the best way to build a fire?
Well, you have to have some sticks in there, that's for sure.
I started with some charcoal, and it got all nice and hot, and then I put some little sticks. I mean, we don't need a raging fire today to cook a hot dog, but you need it to be hot enough. So I think it's hot. It just doesn't look that nice. So when you were little, though, you used to take the similar thing. Tell me about when you went up in the sandbank in Chicopee.
Well, me and Donna Kuwatch,
He was your best friend when you were a kid, right?
best friend, we went on the sandbank and they had numbers. We went on number 2 sandbank.
So that was like a big, huge open area in Chicopee?
Yeah,
and
it wasn't open, there was a lot of sand.
Oh, okay.
And we dug a hole, made a fire, covered the fire over, put the hot dogs on the coals, then
No, you put potatoes.
potatoes.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
your mother would give you, what, potatoes and...
Potatoes, that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know if she gave us any butter to put it on. Then we covered it with more dirt. Then we went out to play, pick some raspberries. About an hour later, I don't know how we determined an hour, because none of us had a wristwatch. So then we came back and uncovered them, and each of us had a baked potato.
All right, you think it's cooked enough?
Mine is.
All right, let's go assemble the hot dogs. Number 88, up to bat.
Strike 1. Strike 2. And he hits a long ball. And Ronnie Matuski overplayed it, and Jim Stefanik's on second base with a double.
All right, what's the score?
16-6.
16-6, and who's winning?
They were.
Oh no. So did you ever hear of a Chicago dog?
Never heard of a Chicago dog.
Okay, so what a Chicago dog is, well, I did not get the right buns because they don't sell the buns that they use in Chicago around here, but you're supposed to have a poppy seed hot dog bun. But we just have the regular hot dog buns. And then what makes it a Chicago dog is you have all of these ingredients. You have the hot dog, which we cooked. You have a pickle sphere, a sphere of a pickle, a long pickle, relish, yellow mustard, onions, tomatoes, and celery salt. And you put all of that in, and that's what they eat in Chicago, and that's where the Pope's from, our new Pope. What do you think of having an American Pope?
Well, I don't know. He didn't do nothing yet.
Well, he's going to do a good job, though. And
yeah,
it's
well,
nice
he's kind of short, I think.
Oh, you think he's short? Yeah.
For a Pope.
But he's a good guy, and he likes the Chicago White Sox. So he likes baseball.
That's good for him. He should send us a free ticket.
Free tickets. All right, so let's assemble the hot dog, all right? And
it's all right to me.
All right, so we'll get a bun, and we'll get the hot dog.
Give it to me.
Here, I'll give you your hot dog. Got to put the stuff in it first.
Well, put it on my lap and put it in it.
Okay. All right, you hold on to it. Don't take a bite yet. Hold it up higher so we can see it. All right, so we're gonna add a pickle slice. And then we have a slice of tomato. I'll give you 2 slices of tomato.
No, 1 is enough.
1's good? Okay. And then one of the things they said was, I've never heard of it, but a sport pepper. I don't know what that is, so I put the banana peppers. So that's that.
Relish.
And then we have some relish. We got the planes going overhead. That's from Westover. They do their training missions on Tuesday and Thursday. Oh, I'll do the mustard last. Then we have some onion. Mustard.
That's it.
And some celery salt.
That's important.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a Chicago dog. Let's show everybody at home. That's what it looks like. All right? All right, let's dig into it. How is it?
Tastes like Chicago.
All right, well, that's good. And then we have your favorite Dr. Pepper to go along with it, right? What do you prefer on your hot dogs?
Ketchup. No, mustard, that's all.
Just plain mustard, but you like these? All right, well, let's take a break here from all this action and we'll watch the rest of the show, okay?
Sounds good to me.
All right.
I'm still eating though.
All right, you can eat during the show. In early February, Dr. Robert Roos was named president of Community Hospitals for Trinity Health of New England. In this new role, Dr. Roos will lead strategic execution and operational direction across the organization's acute care hospitals. This includes Mercy Medical Center in Springfield, Johnson Memorial Hospital in Stafford, Connecticut, and St. Mary's Hospital in Waterbury, Connecticut. I sat down with Dr. Roos at Mercy Medical Center to talk more about his new role, the challenges facing healthcare, and some promising new projects. All right, Dr. Roos, well, thank you for being with us today.
It's my pleasure.
Congratulations on your new role. And can you just tell me a little bit about what you were in previously and how this is changing now?
Yeah, thank you, and it's a pleasure to be speaking with you today. I've had the great fortune of being part of this ministry now for my 13th year. Mm-hmm. I came to Western Massachusetts, right here in the Pioneer Valley in 2013, and was leading up services at then Providence Hospital in Holyoke, Massachusetts, and then moved over to Mercy Medical Center full-time in 2019 as the Chief Medical Officer, and then about 3 years ago as the President here at Mercy Medical Center. And over the last few years, I've expanded my responsibilities, and I'm grateful for that. First, overseeing not only Mercy Medical Center and Johnson Memorial Hospital, which is in Stafford Springs, Connecticut, but most recently, as Trinity Health of New England is reorganizing its leadership and how we provide care in our communities. I have the privilege now of serving as the president for the community hospitals of Trinity Health of New England, which includes Mercy Medical Center here in Springfield, Massachusetts, Johnson Memorial Hospital in Stafford Springs, Connecticut, and St. Mary's Hospital in Waterbury, Connecticut.
Dr. Roos also successfully oversaw several strategic projects, including the development of the Andy Yee Palliative Care Unit at Mercy, the opening of the Geriatric Wellness Pavilion at Johnson, and the completion and transition of care into the $50 million S. Presley and Helen Blake Ambulatory Care Center in Enfield. What has been your focus up until this point? Like, how is this going to be changing?
In some ways, what I've done as a leader won't change at all. I approach the way in which we run hospitals from a servant leadership perspective, and my focus has been on our people and on performance. And so really, I find that everything in healthcare comes from our people, our colleagues, those that serve the people that come to us, that trust us with their care. And when we can develop programs and initiatives and support for the people that we have within our ministry, the doctors, the nurses, the techs, the phlebotomists, the pharmacists, then we really can see improvements in quality, in safety, in retention, and then ultimately performance from an operations perspective.
Mm-hmm. Well, you were mentioning trust too. The Sisters of Providence were the founders of this Mercy Hospital way back. Can you tell me about their legacy and how important it is to maybe keep that going?
The Sisters of Providence here in the community of Western Massachusetts is undeniably a strong and powerful force for compassion, for transformation, and for healing. And those elements are embodied in what we do because they're a part of our mission. Our mission is to be a transforming, healing presence in our community. That is the legacy of the Sisters of Providence and other founding sister communities in other areas that have shown that when you enter the community, you listen, you identify what those needs are, and then you realize that over time, things adapt, you need to evolve and continue to meet those needs that are changing, always with the person that you're serving in the front of your mind and in the core of your heart. So for me, their legacy is one of transformation and one of compassion. And as a health system, we would earn a lot more trust by those that need care if we approached everything with those two mindsets, one of transformation and one of attending to the person in front of you and being with them, truly embodying compassion.
Dr. Roos says hospitals and healthcare systems across the U.S. are facing immense challenges that can't be minimized. Yet he continues to be inspired and energized, addressing public health concerns head on.
We're facing challenges. People are anxious, they're stressed, leading people through tough moments with a steady hand and realizing that there's a bigger picture is something that connects with me. And as hospitals and healthcare providers, I believe that we have an opportunity to impact our communities for the better. We can be agents of change that improve things. And it's not easy, but I think that that's a powerful calling to try to respond to.
And you're so calm and calming everybody else down. What do you do to relieve your stress?
I fortunately have integrated a lot of practices that keep me grounded. I now, recently this year, I'm a lifelong learner. I achieved my board certification in lifestyle medicine, which attends to ensuring that you attend to nutrition and fitness and sleep and connecting with people. So for me, it's about having practices that ground me, which include eating well, getting sleep when I can, and exercising. So I'm
good advice for everybody.
It is, and that really helps me tremendously.
Excellent.
So,
okay, well, thank you so much.
You.
St. Padre Pio is a saint for our time. Known for having the stigmata for nearly all of his priestly life, pilgrims from around the world traveled to San Giovanni Rotunda to attend his masses or in search of healing and confession. One such healing involved a toddler from Pennsylvania. In Thanksgiving, her parents founded the National Center for Padre Pio. Relics from the center visited Our Lady of the Blessed Sacrament Parish in Westfield this week to kick off their Lenten speaker series. Kathy Harrington reports.
I pray to him every day. It's pray, hope, don't worry.
Marianne Shibley and her husband Bill were drawn to the St. Pio Relics visit at Our Lady of the Blessed Sacrament Church in Westfield because he is a very special saint for them.
I found Padre Pio when my husband had COVID a few years ago. He just appeared to me and I started to pray to him, and he helped my husband get through COVID, and now he's just special. I carry him wherever I go.
Before the relics arrived and were set up in the church, the faithful were there, eager to venerate Padre Pio, known as a saint for our time.
And I'm glad they brought the relic here because I think a lot of people need to know about Padre Pio.
Richard Ruach from the St. Pio Foundation in Tuckahoe, New York, serves as a guardian of the relics. A retired police officer, he finds joy in visits such as this.
It was an awesome experience. People came and shared stories. It was a spiritual encounter, and also people just really got a lot of benefit from it, and the turnout was awesome.
In addition to the veneration of the relics, Julia Calandra Leinberg was on hand to open the parish 2025 Lenten Speaker Series. Calandra Leinberg is known throughout the world as an expert on the life and spirituality of Padre Pio. Her mother took her baby sister to see the Capuchin friar in San Giovanni Rotondo just weeks before his death in 1968. But in the moment, she couldn't say the words.
She just said, with her heart, please, Padre Pio, make a miracle so all the people will believe. And Padre Pio nodded, he blessed her, he touched my sister, my brother was there, touched him on the head, and allowed my mother to kiss his wounded hand.
A grace received for her sister sparked a lifelong relationship with Padre Pio. And with these relics visits, she says it's a beautiful opportunity to share Padre Pio with souls in need.
The warmth of the people that had come, the interest, the desire to know more about Padre Pio, such a wonderful feeling of family and unity. I enjoyed my visit here very, very much.
What's beautiful is by her beautiful love for Padre Pio exudes that, and so you get drawn in too. She's a wonderful witness to him.
Day 2 of the relics visit brought dozens of students from St. Mary's High School to hear Calandra Leinberg's talk and a chance to venerate the relics. She often hears stories of people encountering Padre Pio in their lives, but that it took a difficult situation for them to turn to him.
In my teenage years, my grandfather gifted to me a book of a recopilation of all the miracles attributed to the intercession of Padre Pio. I took the books, but I never looked at them.
The books remained untouched for years. Then she had a conversion of faith, and evil spirits suddenly surrounded her.
And the first thing that the exorcist priest told me is, look for Padre Pio. And so he told me that even though those things were happening, God is always in control and is letting these things happen for a reason. And he wanted me to look for Padre Pio because of the hardships that Padre Pio had to endure with the devil and the beatings that he had to take from the devil.
Calandra Leinberg calls Padre Pio a spiritual father, a close intercessor, and says that Padre Pio calls us his spiritual children.
Those prophetic words of Padre Pio that once I lift up a soul, I will never let it go.
The visit of the relics ended with Mass, celebrated by Bishop William Byrne and the priests of the Westfield Catholic community. In Westfield, I'm Kathy Harrington for Real to Real.
Be sure to keep up with all of the latest news on the Catholic Church, both here in the Diocese of Springfield and around the world, by heading over to iobserve.org. And check us out on Facebook. We are at Catholic Communications. And I'll be back with Dad next week as we continue to look at some of our favorite episodes of last season. Right, Dad?
Yes, we are.
All right, and next time, what are we going to have?
Apple pie.
All right, we'll do that. And can you read the last line up there?
Stay tuned next week for another best edition of Real to Real, your window on the world around you.
Great. Good job. Thanks.
That's it. Give me the money.
Real to Real is a production of the Catholic Communications Corporation, funded in part by the annual Catholic Appeal, and the support of you, our faithful viewers.